Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook. My name is Erlene. I'm your host for this episode, and I am joined by my friend Ken. And today, we will be discussing the different personalities as mentioned or as talked about in the book Personality Plus. Our hope in this podcast is that we will be able to make you understand of the different personalities and the tendencies of each personality so that you will be able to accentuate your strength and at the same time mitigate the consequences of your weaknesses. So yeah, I'm happy to have you tonight. You are in for a treat. Ken is a certified public accountant, but she's very passionate in helping people reach their optimum potential, so that's why I really invited her, and I'm very grateful that she said yes to the invitation. Thank you so much, Ken, for joining me tonight. Happy to have you.
Hi, Ars. Good evening from here. Good morning from you. And thank you so much again for giving me the opportunity to share, the knowledge that I had with the book, and of course to discuss to you what is the book all about. And yeah, it's a great way to really help other myself and other people know ourselves better. So as what you said, the goal actually of the book is really to understand ourselves and know our strengths as to our personality types, and also lessen or at least lessen or eliminate our weaknesses. And the second is we can understand others by understanding ourselves and thinking that they are not there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just that they are different from us, and we have to understand that they are unique. We are all unique. So this book is called The Personality Plus by Florence Littauer. The author, we can show the PowerPoint for
Oh,
the book. Yeah. The author is Florence Littauer. She actually get inspired by Tim LaHaye first on a previous book, and then for years of counseling and learning about personality types. Actually, it was temperaments before. She made a conclusion or a category of the personality types of people, and it was said that this Personality Plus book is one of the best books to discuss about the behavior of people. So this is not a theory. This book has based on years of experience of the author and her husband, who also collaborated in making this book. And how did we met the book? So for me, I met the book through the actually, it was a business community who helped me, gave me this the access to this book to know myself better, because in knowing myself I would become the best of who I am, and I could also deal best with others. So I believe it's one of the books that we first shared ours in when we
yes.
first met, right? Can you share something about that?
Yeah, I just want to add that whether you're in business or in school or your parents, you are definitely in for a treat, or you need to, it is essential that you know these things because you will be dealing with people with different personalities or temperaments than yours. Because the beauty, if you know the tendencies of other people, then you are not going to think negatively on certain things that they do uniquely or they do differently than what you normally do. So yeah, Ken, along the way, will be discussing the different personalities and how you're gonna spot these personalities, and and then later on in the discussion, we will be showing you how to know your personality itself. There will be people who will be mixed with different personalities, but there will be one personality that will really, overpower the rest, and that will be your strong, I would say, suit. So that's why you really need to know that so that you can prepare for the weaknesses. Like say for okay, anyway, Ken will discuss now the different personalities.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that, Arsia. And yeah, this book really, it can not just be in business but also in your own life, to your relationships, of course, and if you're a parent, to your family, to your children, and to everyone. Sige. So we will discuss the four personality types. So the maybe we can just show the second
Oh,
slide.
sure, sure. There we
Okay,
go.
so there are four personality types according to the book. First is the popular sanguine. I'll just lay the four. No, the second is the perfect melancholy. The third is the powerful choleric, and the fourth is the peaceful phlegmatic. So we will deal about this more later, but we will talk on each personality type. So first we'll go to popular sanguine. So what are popular sanguine? So if you are the kind of person who is you're an extrovert and you wanted to talk a lot, and then you are an optimist, like you see the bright side of everything. So
Mm-hmm.
sanguines are, they are appealing personalities. So if you are the person who has bubbly personalities and you have the natural charisma to draw people to you, when you walk into the room, people will be absorbed by your presence, and you are always smiling and happy. You are talkative, and of course you are a storyteller. You want to share stories. uh Later on we'll talk more about this, ours. You are the life of the party. So as what I said, if there's a party, it's gonna be you on stage, or you're gonna be the host or the MC, or if not, you will be the one who will be leading the
Sounds familiar.
familiar. And you'll have memory for color. Most of the popular sanguines have this kind of memory. If they could not see figures, they will see the dress that the person wear, the color of their nails, or the makeup they're wearing. So they're more on colors. And they also hold on to their listeners. So if you are here with us, last discussion of me and Arlene, we talked about the love languages, physical touch. So it's like more probability that if you're a sanguine, you're on more physical touch, because you wanted to hold on to your listener, like you want to touch them, you want to hug them. So I have a particular example of this, ours, because I have a friend, a best friend. She was a childhood friend, and then we met in the Ngoyong house here in Cebu. If you're
Uh-huh.
familiar about Chinese Ngoyong, so I was working in a company, and then she was studying law, and then accidentally we met there. And I think we met for a few months before that. But even if we are just like apart, a little apart, we need to hug each other. So even if there's something blocking inside us, we really take the chance to hug each other, because for sanguines, physical touch is really important for us, maybe because physical touch is also our love language. So that's our sanguines. They hold on to their listener. They want to be near to them as much as possible. And then popular sanguines are good on stage. So I think your viewers, or our viewers now, ours, could know that we are both.
So
Do you agree?
yeah.
And so one of the best ways or work that sanguines could have is they could be good, like master of ceremonies, hosts, greeters, receptionists, and leaders, club presidents, like that. And then popular sanguines are enthusiastic. So they are really excited, always excited, and very expressive of how they feel. So later on, we will compare it to the second personality type, which is the melancholy. And popular sanguine are curious, always have the child personality, like they want always adventure, um, and they want to wide-eyed and innocent. They look bright, they look good things, and they volunteers for jobs. So they are really into action of joining every activity. So when you're at school and you want to attend all the functions, you volunteer for all the activities in school, and you want to be appreciated for that. I believe that's a part of being sanguine. So
Got
there,
it. So popular sanguine has to be very, very careful, no? Because they have the tendency to please others, and it could lead to overwork or fatigue because they'll be volunteering to work. Yeah, I can do that because in the hopes that people will like them, you know. So something that a sanguine has to be aware of.
yeah. So can you share, because me, I have an example of that. Before I actually learned the book Rs, I always have this saying yes to every invite that has with me, until to the point that I could not attend to everything. So that's what you said, exhausted and being like very thinned, because I have to attend here at this hour, then the next hour I have to attend another activity. So
Yes.
before, I thought it was just okay to say yes, but then we sanguines have, like, later we'll talk also about follow through. So
Oh yeah.
how about you? How about you? Do you have also the same experience?
Oh yeah. Aside from that's the innate qualities of a sanguine is that also Filipinos as well. Being a Filipino, we're very maikugon. Like it's so hard for us to say no, but something that we have to learn because yeah, like you said, Ken, if you're not gonna say no, it's gonna be detrimental um
Yeah.
in the long run, and you will be, like you said, you will be spread thin, and that's not good because instead of giving a quality time or a quality output, you're not gonna do that because you have too many commitments, and then
Ag-
you tend to forget about like yourself, like your needs as a person, you know, because yes, as a sanguine we do need to be around other people. That's where we feel more energetic, but we also have to realize that there's beauty and benefit, big benefit to be able to just be alone and think things, and something that sanguine has really tapped into, because like that's why people are saying that you need to have a quiet time. You need to have the time to think. And something that sanguine really has to get out of its shell, get out of its normal tendencies to really learn all these things and tap the strength of the melancholies.
yeah,
So
true.
it's good that you're aware of these tendencies so that you can circumvent somehow and be able to become the best of both worlds. I know it's impossible, but at least you've tried, and at least you can tap into that power brought about by the different personalities. So yeah, thank you so much for emphasizing that, Ken, on this discussion, and I hope the our viewers would be able give themselves some time to really assess their tendencies, because like I said, you can't be just like a sanguine. You will always be a combination of, you
Yeah.
know, of other, but yeah, you just have to be aware of what is you are more inclined to do.
Yeah, I agree with that, Ars, because that's what actually happened to me when I learned already that I'm a sanguine. But I'm a sanguine. Mostly, I'm a sanguine. So I have those tendencies, and the goal really of the book and in life is to balance the personality types, to know who you are and how to balance everything. So that's why, yeah, now I appreciate quiet time, and sometimes I felt guilty before when the room is quiet, or
Oh.
when you have someone to talk and then he or she just keeps quiet. So I sometimes fill in the gaps, but now I understand that the power of pause and the power of silence and quiet, that it also be is very powerful. That's what's also the strength of the second, the second personality type, which is the perfect melancholy. So, but so I think we can go now to the
Yep.
sec. Yeah. Okay. So the second personality type, according to the book, is the melancholy. So it's the perfect melancholy. So as what you know, the perfect melancholy is the exact opposite of the popular sanguine, because they are the introvert. So they want to be alone and think innately, because sanguines think out loud. Like, we have the tendency to speak our minds. We
Yeah.
cannot think, we cannot be just be silent. We just have to talk. But the melancholy likes to think innately and not talk. So that's really
Okay.
opposite. He is the thinker and probably the pessimist. So I have known friends and how who are also melancholy, and even my partner is melancholy. So he usually think he wants to think before acting. So melancholies are deep, thoughtful, and analytical. So they are purposeful, serious, very serious. So as what you see, they're very opposite. And melancholies are genius intellect. So they are the genius type of the world. So I believe if there were a personality plus test before Albert Einstein, could be the one of the perfect example of melancholy. They are talented and creative. So most of the jobs that are best for melancholies are artists, musicians, painters, because they have very keen eye for detail. They like lists, graphs, charts, and figures. So if sanguine loves color, these are the people who likes the details like lists, numbers. So by the way, ours, I have just to segue, because there was this friend in the business. She said to me, I we accountants who are sanguine, if you
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
are are the exemption, because as what the book said, people who like numbers are melancholies, but both of us are really sanguines. And
Penguins.
yeah,
Yes.
and then he saw us, that's especially with the party, like we dance on the floor like that. So she said, you are the exemption of the sanguine who are accountants,
Yeah.
melancholies who are accountants. So
Maybe because we were able to tap that power of a melancholy. Like, yes, we are sanguine, but we can also put ourselves into like deep analysis, like accountants do.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also because of the education, we
Yeah.
learn to adapt to that way. Yeah. So as I will move forward, detail conscious. So as what I've said, they are orderly and organized. So they are
Mm.
very organized with their space, with their house, with their work table, and even in their lives. They are very they are detail oriented. They are neat and tidy, and this is one of the I say too much of this would be negative, perfectionists and high standards. So later
Hmm.
I will discuss how to address that. They are
Okay.
economical, so sometimes they wanted to be very stingy,
Stingy.
or yeah, stingy. They are deep concern and compassion. So most of our counselors, diba, are probably melancholic because they have the deep empathy of people. They seek ideal mate, and they make friends cautiously. Unlike the sanguines who makes friends
Ah,
easily, melancholies makes friends cautiously. Like, they have limited friends, and
yes.
yeah, and that's something I cannot relate. So any additional arts, like examples of people who are melancholy, or you
Yeah,
you
people who are melancholic, there are times that like when they're outside and with around people that their energy is depleted. Yeah, like even you're like really good friends, don't be mad or get offended when your melancholy friend doesn't want to say hi to you and try to avoid you. Because I have a friend, she shared that she was one time she was at the mall and she saw that her acquaintance or a friend was coming her way, and because she doesn't have the energy and she doesn't feel like to be talking to the people, she's not really mad at that person, but she avoided that person
like
on
she went
purpose.
another way.
You went another way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because to melancholics, to be around people and to be talking, it's physically draining to them. yeah, it takes a toll on them to be around people. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that if you have a partner who is a melancholy, don't be mad or don't take it personally if your partner doesn't want to hang out because he or she just want to, you know, have time for him, I mean for I mean yeah, just have time to be alone.
Yeah, yeah, that's something that I need to learn, because yeah, I also have a friend like you are. She's a friend, and then she said that once we go out, she takes like 2 days to recover.
Oh, dude.
2 or 1 week
Yeah,
to
yeah.
recover, to go out again. So because she felt drained, and that's something I could not relate, because we draw our energy to people. Like if we have an audience, the more
Yes.
power we get.
Yes.
You
Yes.
understand that? Yeah.
That's what I noticed too, Ken. Like if I'm doing presentations or like live, whatever, and if I see that the audience are really engaged and enjoying, and there's a lot of people, I feel like, oh, like more powerful than ever. But then if I saw that there's only a few who are really interested, it kind of make me feel like, oh, but something that you need to overcome. Like I said, like here on my channel as a sanguine, it
Yeah.
is disappointing, or yeah, in some way, that I am not, I mean the views are not really as high as I wanted it to, because as much as possible I really wanted to reach, I mean this our content would reach a lot of people and would help a lot of people. But right now it's not doing what I mean, you know what I really wanted it to do. But so for a sanguine, it's like difficult to like should I still do this, should I, you know what I mean, or
Ah,
is this a worth venture, things like that. But in my mind, of course, this self talks, and then in my mind, I was like, no, I just keep doing
what
it, and
what
then
we
the
love
content,
to do.
yes, keep doing what I love, which is talking and inspiring other people, and then these contents will find those people who are looking for this kind of opportunity to learn and grow with other people, which is what I really want, and somehow it will weed out those people who are not really interested into this kind of stuff. Because I was thinking that maybe I'd also try to copy the strategies of other content creators, like doing giveaways, things like that, to attract people to like, share, comment, just to keep the algorithm going. But at the back of my head, it's like, why not just grow it organically?
Yeah,
So yeah, and find the people that really likes this kind of content. So yeah.
agree. Yeah, so we just have to do what we love to do, and we will find the people who will also like this will have the time to really appreciate also what you've been doing are. So, and yeah.
Yeah, and I can't be more grateful for the support of my friends and how positive they are with the direction now of my content. So that
Yeah.
also somehow fuels me to push forward. So thank you so much, Ken. You are one of I would say my top supporters.
Always been grateful to be part of your channel, ours. Okay. So we'll go for the I think we'll go for the third now.
All right.
Yeah, I think we can also both relate on this. So the third is this powerful choleric. So the powerful choleric is the same as sanguine. They are extrovert. They also loves to talk, but they are the doer. So if the
Mm.
sanguine are the talker, the choleric are the doer, and they are the also the optimist. So they see positive things in life. But the choleric are the born leaders. So if you're in a group and then you're given a task, the first person who takes the task and lead, probably that's a powerful choleric. And powerful choleric are compulsive need for change. So if they see something that's wrong, they act directly to correct it. And
Mm-hmm.
their word is really, I will do it my way. So
Uh,
sometimes they become very insensitive. How
mm-hmm.
as long as they get results done, we don't care about feelings or emotions or how the process went, as long as it is done. So I need it to be done without even thinking about that. So they're also strong-willed and decisive, and they can run anything. Give a responsibility to a choleric, he will make it done, as long as he is or she is interested about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are goal oriented. So achieving goals than pleasing people. So this is the difference with sanguine and choleric. Sanguine are sometimes they stop achieving goals because they want to please people. Like they just want to be with be with the majority. But
Mm-hmm.
choleric, they don't care. I want this to get achieved, to get it done, to get it fulfilled, rather than pleasing you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's also one of the things that makes them unpopular because they are
Mm.
different. They are really decisive and they are unemotional. So, they don't care about emotions. They exude confidence. So, as long as they know that they are right, or even if they are not right, they will not accept that they are wrong. So, that's one
So
of the
that's difficult if you have a partner who is super choleric, or if you have a boss who is a super choleric. So difficult to work with them.
true, true ours, and especially if they are not aware of their
Yeah,
behavior, they
because
could
to them
really,
it's normal.
yeah, and they could step people on no at their work, and people will be very
Yeah, but the
afraid.
beauty though with choleric is they get things done.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And also something to for the viewers to be aware of is that if you have a friend who is choleric and you are sharing something to them like a problem or something, that choleric friend has a tendency to solve the problem for you. even if
agreed.
even if your purpose of sharing the whatever situation you are in is just to have somebody to talk to,
Listen, yeah.
or to listen to you. But if you are sharing to a choleric, don't be offended if that choleric friend will tend to solve your your situation, your problem.
Agree. So that's one of the weaknesses ours of choleric, and the book said that the authors really advise cholerics to keep no keep your mouth shut until you are asked for advice. Because that's really a tendency of choleric, yeah. And yeah, aside from that, ours, they thrives on opposition. So they wanna, as what I
Oh,
said, if people are going this way, cholerics want to prove others, like give them like a statement like, you cannot do it because you're something like this. Then cholerics would prove you're wrong.
okay.
So yeah, they are, that's their like thirst. They are thirsty for that, like proving you're wrong.
Mm.
Thrives on opposition. And they are also motivated to act. They will act directly, is usually right. They excels in emergencies. As what I've said, cholerics are really born leader, and they have little needs for friends. So
Mm.
because choleric, they can do anything they want. So for them, I'm the best, and I don't need anyone. I
Oh.
can finish this.
Or
So
those women can who doesn't seek a partner, or
mm,
doesn't want to get married, mostly they are cholerics, no? Because like you
yeah,
said, they are okay to be alone.
yeah, I think yes. I would agree. Or it could be the last.
The
The
flag.
flag, yeah, the
Oh,
phlegmatic. Yeah.
okay.
So anything you can add about powerful choleric?
Oh, okay. I just want to give myself out as an example on this because
So
I'm a sanguine choleric, but I would say in the first I would say decade of my life, I am really a choleric.
mm,
Yes, I'm more of a choleric sanguine in the first decade, because that was brought about by how I was raised by my parents, especially my dad, because a lot of expectations on me like was
mm,
set, and that yeah, my dad is a perfectionist, especially on my studies, which I also understand because to them, because they are not, I mean, they don't have stable jobs, they like right off the bat when we were kids, they were already telling us that the only chance for me to get a college degree is by scholarships. That's why my dad was really hard on me. He was very perfectionist in terms of my grades.
Okay.
And my dad is a choleric person, like my way or the highway kind of guy. So I kind of what you call it, adapt or got that kind of personality as well. And then when I get to college, Ken, and yeah, I was very choleric. And then being a person who's always like on the top, like in my class, you know. So I always have that like, whatever, like I know what's best. What I think is the best is really the best. And there's like if I do group things, like this should be the way until like I think second year in college. I went to a retreat with some of my classmates, and we were given an exercise. And then exercise, they will always have a time, constraint on that. And I was present to everybody that this should be the way, this is because I can see the future, things of that sort. And then we lose that exercise again. And then towards the end of the retreat, one of my classmates found me in a private place and talked to me like, and this is a guy a guy again, and was telling me, you know what, Arlene, I really like you. You're intelligent, but you know what, you're just super choleric. Yeah,
Really?
he said, yeah, like straight to my face. Like, I really like you. You're intelligent, but in sometimes you are hurting other people because you don't listen. I know you are right, but the way you express yourself is hurting other people. And that was like my awakening. At that time, Ken, I don't really know all these things: popular,
Yeah.
sanguine, choleric, melancholy, phlegmatic. I don't know these kind of things. But I know that he was right, because that struck me that it's not really good to to force yourself in the expense of hurting other people's feelings. You need to balance. And
I
yeah,
see.
from that point on, because I know my tendencies, I tried to avoid, or I tried to stop myself from being a choleric. Yes.
So
And
that was before you learned about the book, right?
yes, before I learned the book, I I was only got to introduce to the different personalities, temperaments, was when I get to work. Because in the corporate, in my first job, they're very invested in helping or shaping their employees to become leaders. So
Okay.
that's what I like about that in my first job. So they sent us to trainings and seminars on those in these things. So that's why actually when I first took the exam, when I was yeah, in my first job, I was 20 probably at that time. I was a choleric melancholic.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
I was crazy. But then when I got this book and took the recommended exam, which is, from this book,
Yeah,
I be I came out as a sanguine choleric.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay, okay. Yeah.
And that
So I
that
think,
was
yeah, ours.
hey, yes, I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah.
here, but I think
Okay.
my signal fluctuated.
Yeah, we're good now. I think we're good now. I
All right.
see. So that's really interesting. For me, I think it's always been sanguine choleric, but sanguine and choleric, but they are just like mostly near. So, but for you, you changed from choleric melon to sanguine choleric. So that's
Yeah.
some totally.
Yeah, because probably Ken, innately I should have been really a sanguine, but because of my circumstances as a kid, that I have to conform with my daddy's standard, then I had to become a choleric like him.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
eventually when I when I really had like the work and like the say on things, and so then I became a sanguine. Like my true self came
Yeah,
out.
because you've become very comfortable already in the environment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, because my dad, after I had my degree, he's pretty much hands off already at that
I
point.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but during like especially elementary to high school years, I mean he was very choleric, so I have to be choleric as well.
Okay.
Aww.
Hi.
Hi, baby. Do you
Hi.
want to join the conversation? All right, keep going, Ken.
Okay. So I think we will also discuss about that later, Ars, about the masks of survival. I think that's really valid that we can probably change our personality depending on our past, our
Yeah.
environment. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and yeah. So later we will discuss about that. So now we'll move on to the fourth personality. I hope your baby will we will know soon her personality, but okay, let's move on to peaceful phlegmatic. So, um, to be honest, this is the personality that I could least relate because I think I have 1 point phleg or 0 points phlegmatic. So this is the yeah. How about yours? How many points do you have for phlegmatics?
Actually,
Uh,
I'm not zero.
oh,
But I
you're
think
not
I only
zero.
have 2 to 3 points.
Okay, so we're actually the same. Okay, so we'll learn about this. So what are phlegmatic? They are also introvert, like the melancholy, but they are the watcher. So if the melancholy is the thinker, the phlegmatics are the watcher. So they just want to watch people, happenings, and all. And they're also pessimist in nature. Phlegmatics have low key personality. So they just want to be at the background, at the backstage, or just become blend in the crowd. They are easygoing, so they just want to go with the flow like that, and they are calm, cool, and collected. So they have this tendency to relax, to be very okay with life, so reconciled with life. So phlegmatics have these tendencies not to dream big too much, not to do big things too much because they don't want to do it. They just want to be lazy. uh they're also patient and well balanced. So I think on this area I will say I will not relate because I am impatient in nature, but I'm learning now to be patient. But phlegmatics, they have this really amazing patience. Like even if they've been you've been putting a lot of things under pressure, they thrive on that. Like they become calm and patient and balanced. So it's really awesome to to be with phlegmatics. They calm people, and they are quiet but witty. So phlegmatics are quiet, but they are really also witty. They get along with others. So one of the best work of phlegmatics are maybe like counselors. Has administrative ability in schools, or like yeah, one of the best example is hostage negotiators. So they yeah, this is one of the best work of phlegmatics because they are easy to go with. Like people loves them because they are they are not harmful, and they are like people loves them. People love them because they are passive, and they avoid conflicts. They are mediates people. So if there are conflict, they are the one who makes peace with everybody. Is a good listener. So if you want someone to listen to all your talk, so you find a phlegmatic friend or a phlegmatic partner. And also they enjoys watching people, easy to get along with, and has many friends. So they are the best friend of the world, the phlegmatics. So these
I
are
see.
the people who are no enemies, have no enemies. So that's why they are also in a way they are uh people loves them because they has many friends, and they don't harm people, unlike the choleric that's that's very aggressive. The perfect opposite of a choleric is a phlegmatic because they are very passive. But there's also another way of being strong-willed of a phlegmatic. So one of uh I think phlegmatic I could not relate, but I really admire people who are phlegmatic because their 100% patience, that's something that I would love to learn. And being calm, because before ours, being a sanguine choleric, every time, like now, like I speak, I'm always been hyped, like anxious, like I wanna, i, I couldn't make myself calm. But when I learn about phlegmatics, about how they just don't be bothered at all, because I know in the end it will be okay, like that's their thinking, like there's nothing, there's no such thing as very important not to be bothered, like for them it's
Mm.
okay, it will be fixed on the end, like that. So that's what one of the things I've been learning now, that yeah, you just let it go, let it go, let it flow. It will be then, the answers will seek for itself, like you don't, I don't want to be anxious anymore, like that. So that's what peaceful phlegmatics are. I cannot tell some more examples about phlegmatics, but maybe if you can add something, what can you, like, many, some, do you know someone who is phlegmatic or?
Yes, my husband has a tendency to be a phlegmatic, actually, and as a choleric myself, sometimes that drives me nuts. But
Oh.
yeah, because there are some certain things that I need to, I mean, I want done that for him is not really that of a rush or like importance. But and then living here in the country, as an immigrant, and there are some things that it's better if he does it, you know you know so in that case, and men, they don't like to be nagged, so you always have to find a way, like a way that would, I mean, that to push a phlegmatic to do something that will not hurt their feelings and eventually just stop, because if you over push a phlegmatic, they will become like a rock, like, yeah, it's like, I know what you want to do, but, and I understand why you want it done, but because you've been nagging, because you've been so pushy, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, there's the tendency of being an iron will. Yeah.
Yes, because yes, phlegmatic are people who doesn't want to do things, which is very opposite of choleric. But once a phlegmatic becomes a choleric, he is a super choleric. And phlegmatic people are so nice in situations where other personalities might think like, oh, pants on fire, blah blah blah, emergency. But this kind of people, they can think during those crises. They are very level-headed, so that's why they said that phlegmatic people have a low tendency to become leaders, because being a leader is really like a choleric personality type. But if there's a phlegmatic person that really stood up or like shined, then that phlegmatic can be a very good leader.
I agree. I
Yeah, but
think
for the most part, phlegmatics are followers. And the beauty of this personality, because they like to observe people, and they like to, closely examine other people, and they're just content with, by just watching other people. They are understanding other people. Actually, I think I would say there are some phlegmatic who better understand the person than that person itself. You
agree,
know?
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because this phlegmatic is like, oh, she's doing that. Oh, you know what I mean, Ken? And because of that, innate personality, they tend to notice what is best from this person, and what is not good, so as to avoid, those mistakes that that person is doing, unknowingly.
Yeah. So that's something's very there's power in being phlegmatic. Yeah, observing in the sidelines. But yeah, so what you've said, once they take action, once they are inspired to take action, they want to get it done easily. Like for example, our one of our mentors in the business, he done the business project in just 2.5 years, and then because he wants to stop doing it. So that's what phlegmatics want also to do. They want to do something and they want to get it done so fast so that I can relax. So that's their
Yeah.
goal, which is also very commendable for us choleric and sanguines in nature.
And
So
also, can know the phlegmatics, like you said, they're pessimists. So it's nice if you're a phlegmatic that you partner with somebody who's an optimist. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my husband is, yeah, he has this side and is always pessimistic whenever he hears something in the news. So I'm the person who's kind of balancing things out for
Wow.
him. I know he has the mechanism to balance things out. He has existed in this world for far too long before I came into his life, and he was doing fine. But it's still nice to have that person who will, you know, uplift you when you feel like pessimistic
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Balance.
negative. Balance,
True.
yes.
Yeah. So I think I could also relate on the talking side and the listening part. So I think I'm very grateful that I have my partner who's also a phlegmatic. His second, nature is a phlegmatic, and he's a good listener when I am talking. So I think that's what Sangrid's also and Cholerics wants. Someone who's a great audience for you
Yeah.
to listen. So that's what phlegmatics do. They're like good listeners. Yeah, and they absorb. They just absorb. Okay, so now we'll talk about some of the negatives and how to correct them.
All right.
Okay.
Again, before we jump into that section of the conversation, I would just like to emphasize to our viewers that we are live. So I'm inviting everyone, if you have questions, clarifications, things like that, please write it
Yeah.
down in the comment section so Ken and I can answer if you have, yeah, certain things that you want to be clarified. All right, Ken, let's go to the next
Yeah,
part.
we would appreciate to answer your questions right away during the discussion that would
Yes.
make this very good conversation, and we just want to keep you in the discussion. Okay, so now we'll go to the some of the negatives that we need to correct. So for let's go first. Let's go back to popular sanguines. So popular sanguines, their one of their weaknesses is they talks too much. So if you are really if you have a friend who's really her sanguine points are really way above, so high that you cannot barge in to a conversation. She's always talking, 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 and then she's making stories, and sometimes very exaggerating that it makes them a lie and already, because she wants to prove to a point. So that's what sanguines are. That's normal. Please understand that sanguines sometimes tend to overtell. So one of the things that the book tells is, if you know that you're a sanguine and you have these tendencies, please get to the point. Me, for example, when I know about the book, and if I'm talking to a choleric or a melancholy, I really tell myself to concise everything and get to the point,
Yes.
because because these people doesn't care about the sidelines. They want to know what's the point, what's the bottom line. So
Yes.
yeah.
Or if you're someone who wanna excel in the corporate world or become a leader, then it's a skill, and I know it would be hard for you to learn, but you gotta have to learn.
Yeah.
It's to be able to express yourselves in a minimalistic way. Or yeah,
True.
be articulate. Yeah.
Get to the point and stop exaggerating, because
Yes.
people will know if it's too much. So there are
Or
really a
because they
lot.
will tune out, Ken. Because if
Yeah,
you're just talking too much or you're not letting people talk as well or share their input, they will tune you out. So those times that you were talking, you thought that people are listening, actually they're not, and you're just wasting your time.
yeah, true. They get bored. They got
Yeah.
bored. Yeah, and that's what not good if you are talking. Especially if you are uh you are talking to an audience. You
Yeah.
need to get them engaged. So another is that sanguines are self-centered. So sometimes they just want to talk about themselves,
Me, 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 me,
and
me.
me. It's all about me, and
Yes.
you and no you like that. So the author Florence said that please learn to listen and be sensitive to others. So
Mm.
yeah, listening is a great skill, and I think that's one of the blessings that I got also in the book, because before sometimes I don't listen. I
Yeah.
Especially if when we talk, I always talk about like what will I say next? What will I say next?
Yes, you don't listen to understand, but you listen so that you will know what to say.
Yeah, to
Mm.
engage, to fill in the gap. But
Yeah.
there is difference when listening, and there's also this phrase that we learn ours, that people don't care how much you know until you know how much you care. So, and
Uh-huh.
listening is one of the best evidence that you really care to the
Care.
person, because you
Yes.
give you listen and you give time to understand, not just hear is different than listening.
Mm-hmm.
So, also sanguines have uncultivated memories. So,
Ooh.
are you also guilty of this? Like you cannot remember things.
Actually, I'm not really bad in this area.
Ah,
Maybe because I'm
okay.
also a choleric.
I
In
see.
fact, my husband really admire my memory.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, but me before ours, I tend to forget a lot of things, but not names. I think I'm good with names, but like like your things in like your house or something like that, or I want to do because of too many yeses. So that's why sanguines, if you're like this, you need to have to write down things you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm learning to time block my time. To I sometimes plan my week ahead,
Yes.
yeah, my appointments, and then I write my daily schedule, like time blocking. That's also one of the things I learned about Atomic Habits book. So because I know I have sanguine tendencies to forget.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so good that you're not like that. So it's really something I, because sanguines want to please people, and then when you forget that you have to meet them, that would be depressing for a sanguine. So that's why you need to write, and interrupt and answers for others, disorganized and immature.
Oh,
So sanguines, I know we love to have fun, but sometimes we have to be also serious and grow up. We need to grow up. So it's not
yes.
all about fun. Sadness also is important for us to uh, you know uh, appreciate the life itself. So
Yeah.
that's
Which is
what.
very important, can to really pick the people that spend your most of your time with, and especially picking your partner. I would say I am a sanguine, like very much sanguine when before I got married. And then when I
Mm.
got married and lived with my melancholy phlegmatic husband, then I would say the Arlene that few years ago, Ken, when I was still in the Philippines, is a different Arlene now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I know that I already observed that even online arts.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. Like you become serious, and you have really grown so great.
Yeah. And also that also comes with the demand of the time because I'm also a mother now. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
that too.
Yeah,
Yes. So I really have to grow.
you have to grow.
Yes, I
Yeah.
really have to grow because
So so you're not the Peter Pan now that who always wanted to live in the never land. You know.
No, no.
Okay.
And also, my husband is talking sense into me as well. When I'm
Mm.
also, get into a situation or something that is like, you're just being so immature. And
Ah,
yeah, he will let me know, you know.
okay.
But before that would hurt my feelings because we're not very, um, used to be, people being straightforward to you, Ken.
Yeah, sanguines
Yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah.
They want to you, if you speak to us, you speak with flowery words, not direct to the point.
Yeah. So like I told you in my early years, I am very choleric, right? And then towards the middle, I became a sanguine. And now that I am in the chapter where I am a mother and a wife, I have also now switched to be more like a choleric melancholic because of the
Oh,
demand of the time of the current stage of my life right now. Have to be
okay.
melancholic in the sense that I have to be organized. And
Yeah.
yes. Yes,
That's good.
so
That's
that the
good.
household could function, I mean, at the optimum level. Because mothers, as we know, we are the life of the household. If we're down, if we're disorganized, everything will be disorganized.
True.
So, yeah, and especially that I have a kid, I can't be a super sanguine around my kid. Well, at certain times, yes, I have to be playful and, but I have to be mindful not to be super sanguine. And I think I am no longer a super sanguine. I think if I'm, yeah, like I said, if I'm gonna take another personality test, I'm no
You
longer a
would be
sanguine. Yeah, I'm no longer a super as like a sanguine choleric. I would more probably choleric
cleric Melon.
yeah,
Yeah.
choleric melon, especially here in the US, again, and the kind of work that I do, that I'm a work from home. I don't really like, interact much with people, and I
I
have been fine
yeah.
with that already. Back
Really?
back
Yeah.
back then, it was so hard. Yes, in my first year here in the US, it was hard. At that time, we were living in a camper. My husband doesn't want to go out. It's not his personality to be around other people. And me, different time zone, my friends, and even if like my friends are online, it's very different. And also sometimes they don't want to talk to you because they also have their life to,
Lives.
yeah,
Yeah.
lives to attend to.
True.
So yeah, it was a challenge at first. That's actually the reason why I was led to being a content creator, YouTuber, and I have met other people because of that need to be, to be able to meet other people and talk to other people.
Yeah.
Because yes, deep inside, I'm still a sanguine. I still have that need that I need to satisfy. But I would say I'm not that sanguine anymore, which is good. Which is good,
Yeah, which is good.
which is also good because I have now the ability to use the strength of a sanguine because I am innately a sanguine. At the same time, my weaknesses as a sanguine is somehow diminished because I was able
Yeah.
to like tap
Correct.
into the strength of being a melancholic, being
Melancholy.
a choleric, you know.
Agree.
Although I would say I'm very far from being phlegmatic.
I think we both laugh at that because I can relate. That's really important. I think nearly, no, I'm no, no. It's not nearly impossible, but we can be sometimes.
But I
Yeah,
love phlegmatics. Like you said, everybody
yeah,
loves phlegmatic
yeah. I
because they
appreciate.
are peace loving people.
They calm people,
Yeah.
relax people.
But sometimes
Okay.
it drive the choleric nuts.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It makes them to the point of
Yes.
bursting into flames. Yeah. So thank you, Ars, for that input. So it's good that you are a perfect example of the goal of the book, which is to balance all the personalities. You know your weaknesses, and then you tap other people's other personality types strengths to blend into where you are right now. So that's really a good input. Thank you so much. So I think our melancholy viewers, friends would also know what are their weaknesses. So the weaknesses of melancholy are also they are easily depressed. So yeah, I think they think that because they are pessimist in nature, they tend to see the negatives, so they are depressed if they don't meet expectations or even expectation to themselves, and they always think that people are thinking of them, and then they get
Mm,
depressed. So
mhm.
Florence, the author, said that, hey, just know that nobody likes gloomy people. So
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, nobody loves likes gloomy people. Don't be hurt easily, and also look for the positive. So probably if you have a sanguine partner or a sanguine friend, please let them shine your pessimist or dark nature, because life is too beautiful to just be depressed. So
Yes,
I
that's
think,
true.
yeah, that's true. So yeah, you can add something, ours, or
Oh
yeah.
yeah, and also melancholy, they tend to, like you said, can overthink. And
Yeah.
sometimes, yes, melancholies are very brilliant people. They're very artistic, and they have, like, they want to know everything, that they want to project everything that it should be, correct before acting on it, but they will be trapped on the cycle if not being check I mean put on in check. They can be trapped in a cycle of analysis paralysis, like instead of executing something, because you always like weigh in the pros and cons and pros and cons. You will be trapped in that pros and cons stage,
Yeah.
not really executing it, which is
Yeah.
bad, which is bad as well. I know there's a benefit of being able to weigh in things, the pros and cons before executing something, but don't be caught in that stage where you are just still and like, like if you do a project, Ken, if you will be with if all of you are melancholics, you will always find something that is not working and you will not be able to execute your
Yeah.
project. So you're gonna
Yeah.
be extend. So if you're in a company or in a project or something that you can't see when it's gonna be, like go live, when it's gonna go live, or when it's gonna start, it's probably or the deadline is keeps on extending. It's because probably the people who are in the project are all melancholics.
Yeah.
Because they tend to, critic other people, and then the other people will critic, no, 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 we can't go live because if you do this, this is gonna happen. And then later on it's like, oh, we can't go live, we
Yeah.
can't open. For example, they're building an airport, oh, we can't open the airport right now because this part right here is not yet, you know what I mean, Ken?
Agree. Yeah.
Until there is a colleague that say this is good enough for now. Let's do
Do it.
it. Let's
Just
do
do
it,
it.
and then just put out fires as we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also one of the weakness that's been, yeah, you're right, ours procrastination or analysis paralysis. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's melancholics tend to procrastinate because they want to get things right before they do live or they go for it. So
Yes.
yeah, that's their tendency. So one of the things that they must do is just do it even if it's not yet perfectly planned. Sometimes you just have to do it, to get it started, right? To just do
Mm-hmm.
it, whatever it takes. Just throw mud in the wall and just do something. Everything will go right. You can
And
correct
also,
it along the way.
correct, Ken. And also, this is also something in terms of like in the relationship stage. If you have a melancholic partner, then you have to tell your plans ahead of time, because they don't want to be put in situation where they can't prepare, because they always love to prepare. That's why if you say something and you want to get it done, and then for you it's really important, but then your partner is not really cooperative, it's because that person was not able to plan, and her tendencies or his tendency is to be able to plan. So
Yeah.
yeah, so if you're aware that your partner is a melancholic, then tell that person your plans, so that that
Yeah.
person would be able
Yeah.
to prepare and also would not overthink, because sometimes this personality would really overthink of your actions, like to you, you don't mean anything. Like for example, there are some people, can when you invite them on the last minute, they would think, oh, actually probably they invited me because somebody said no, and I was
Ah,
just the
okay.
last option. when
Yeah.
when probably you just when probably maybe that event that you are inviting them to was also last minute, something like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, but for melancholic, yeah, they will think to over yeah they will tend to overthink things.
That thing. Yeah. So
Yeah, and then they overthink and they are leaning into the negative. That's also something, yeah, like you said, again, is their weakness, because they overthink. It would be nice if they overthink and then they will lean into the positive side. These people, they overthink and then they will tend to expect the worst, or yeah.
agree. I think that also boils down into have low self images. Yeah,
Oh.
melancholics tend to, have this tendency, yeah, to overthink. That's why they think themselves as, low self image, and they search out, they are insecure. Some of them are insecure, and they think that they are different from others, because why are others like this and I'm like this. So yeah, one of the things that Florence, the author, said that you search the source of the insecurity. of your insecurity,
Mm.
maybe your childhood, or what's making you insecure, what was the reason? Maybe you don't have a father when you grow up, like that, or you don't have your mother was always not around, that's why you have this, you don't want to talk to people. So search the source of your insecurity, and then also and find positive from that. Find some self-talk.
Mhm.
Me myself, I have this tendency because I have also 8 points melancholy. So I think the points went to the weaknesses side. That's why I have this anxious attachments and anxiety. So now I've been learning about my past, childhood stories before, and then I found my insecurities, and then I have self talks. I found some meditation like that to just know look the positive things of it. And then also melancholy ours are have false humility. Like for example, they say that I'm kanang they think they are humble, but they tend to negate themselves. Like
Mm.
I'm like this because I don't have a father, or I'm like this because I was abused. I abused as a child. So sometimes being putting yourself down, it becomes false humility. So that's something you should not do, and instead you uplift yourself from it, so that
Mm.
you will know that there's something that's good behind that. There's a reason why you have experienced that, and that's something you can find power. They said that in pain, in your pain right now, there is power. So turn it into power. So if you're a melancholy and you have these tendencies, know that the pain you have right now, you have power to make it something, like maybe an advocacy someday, or even a voice or something that you could change your life with. And lastly, the weakness of melancholy is they have unrealistic demands because they are perfectionists. So
Mm.
please know that not everyone is like you, not everyone is like your standards. So accept whatever the person can have right now, and relax your standards. Please relax your standards. Just maybe go with the flow, and communicate your
Oh,
standards to people.
that's the thing. That's a big thing. Communicate. Yes,
Yeah.
communicate your tendencies to your partner, to your if you have a manager, if you at work, communicate your tendencies. Yeah,
Yeah.
communicate your tendencies to your kids. And if you're a child, then communicate your tendencies to your parents. So they would
Yeah.
understand you and they would know how to better work with you.
Yeah, I agree to that, and I would take note
Yes.
on that. Communicate, because sometimes I had a challenge in communication. So
Yes,
yeah.
because if the person truly cares for you, then that person would adjust as well and will also talk sense to you and try to help you stop digging yourself into that big hole. And
Okay.
it's time for you to come out. It's time for you to heal. And sometimes healing, I know there's some people that they heal faster or better by just themselves, but I would say there's a beauty if you share a burden to someone. And if you're in the phase of life right now that you have a partner, then share with your spouse so that if you are dealing with past trauma that you are not able to fix yet, then share it with your spouse and allow your spouse to help you carry the burden
Yeah, and understand you as
and
well.
understand you
Understand.
and your tendencies so that your spouse will not think the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So because of that, ours yeah, I actually jot down everything that, I if I have those tendencies like anxious, being anxious, I write them down, and then I say, I see, I feel, I want. So that some one day I could communicate it when the time is right to my
Mm-hmm.
partner. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
actually,
for
Ken,
that.
when I feel like I'm melancholic after I gave birth, at some point there's a time when I don't understand. I just feel like melancholic, and they said
Really?
probably it's a postpartum. Um, so I communicated it to my husband. And I told them that probably you noticed that whenever you said something and I have like an adverse reaction, I can't control it. I don't understand myself. This is not me. But because I communicate to my husband and he understand the tendencies, he would somehow adjust on how he would, talk to me or express what he wants. So it will not trigger me. But
Yeah.
good thing I'm already past that stage. I'm no
Oh.
longer like super melancholic. But yes, after giving birth, few months after giving birth, I don't know, I don't understand myself at that time. But yes,
Yeah, I
I
think that's another topic we can talk one day.
yes,
And
yes. But
hopefully
yes,
I
communication is the key.
communication. Yeah, true. So, okay, so now we'll go to the third, the choleric. So, cholerics, yeah, as what I've said earlier, they are Mr. or Miss No Fault. And so they are also compulsive workers. So, one of the things to eliminate or correct this is that please respect others and admit your fault. I know choleric, it's very, for me before, when I did not know about this book, I think you can also relate that we don't say we're at fault. It's like a
Uh-huh.
weakness to know, to admit that you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you make defense, like blah blah blah, so that's why you cause troubles. So please, choleric, admit that you have also fault, and respect others opinion. They're also very valuable persons.
Yes.
They're also important person. Their opinion matters. And compulsive workers learn to relax. And yeah, I think this is true. Plan leisure activity. Before ours, I don't know, I think we're still the same on this. Like, we are guilty not to have a goal or not to do something in
Yes.
relation to that.
Yes.
Until now, like, even talking to a person before, I always have a goal in mind, like, what can I do, what can I get from this. The time is wasting. Like that. Can
Yes.
you?
Yes. I have that sorry with my
It's
voice.
okay, it's
Morning
okay.
voice.
Yeah.
Yes, I have that tendency, Ken, and I also communicated that with my husband in terms of like what I wanted, like what I want to achieve, with our with our marriage life. And
Yeah.
I because I told them I'm a person that work on goals, that I thrive on goals. If I can see something where if I can see where I'm going to, that's what I really communicated with him, because my husband's personality is somewhat like a flag in a sense where it's like everything's doing good, so nothing to worry about. And to him, it's like we have achieved more than other people at a stage, of their marriage has achieved. Like that's
Yeah.
his. But in my mind, it's always, but we can always do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why, but I'm glad my husband is on board with that. So we always talk about goals, especially
Yeah.
financial goals,
Finances.
and what we want to achieve as a family, Ken. so
Yeah.
so so that's the choleric
Side.
choleric side of it. But yes, you also, like, as a choleric, you always also have to control yourself, that it's not about just pressure yourself. You always have um to understand that you also need to rest. You also need to enjoy. Yeah. So yeah, by just counting your blessings, or if you're in the workforce, and if you really want to have a happy office environment, if you wanna because right now, in the generation right now, Ken, the more you become super choleric to your team members, the more that they will be
Follow.
you will
They will
not
not
follow.
follow. Yeah.
Yeah, they will not follow you. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that, yeah, that's really something. So, and also, yeah, if in the area of your kids as well, don't be super choleric on your kids, or they
True.
tend to be they tend to distance themselves from you, which is not good, because I know that you will be the best influence for your kids, and if you become super choleric, and they would tend to seek comfort, or from other people which values or whose values are not really in line to your values, then that's very alarming.
True, I agree. I agree to
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's one of the things that I had to learn, and I think I'm grateful when COVID happens, because during the pandemic you cannot go out and you cannot just do something. Though I tend to have the business online, but then I appreciate life even more. That life is very precious. Like, spending time with your loved ones is something also is a leisure. Also, it's not just about doing things for the future, but sometimes I have to love the moment, the moment,
Hmm.
enjoy the moment right
Live
now,
in the present.
live in the present. Because sometimes I being goal oriented, I'm always thinking about what happens next, what will I do next, that I forgot to see the present and trust that everything will, as long as I do the now, live the now and enjoy the now, that the future will turn out good. And also, I'm also grateful to my boyfriend right now, because he's also a melancholic phlegmatic ours. And
Eh.
then yeah, and then one of the things that I admire is that he just want to live life in vacation. When one day he would just want to decide, if I go there, I go there now. I don't plan. But it's a challenge for me, because I'm a person who's a planner because of my choleric tendencies. But then it's good to have no plans. Sometimes great things happen when you don't have plans. Yeah, there's movies like that. I thought it was cheesy, but in life it's true. Sometimes you don't have expectations, so you just go with the flow. So that's something, it's really nice as well. But as what you say, we have to balance everything. It's not all about fun, 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 but it's also having a direction in life. So yeah,
Correct.
choleric. And another is that they are in control, and
Mm.
they don't know how to handle people. So, as what I've said earlier, they are unemotional, so they just wanted to
Yes.
happen things their way. They don't understand others. I don't care what you feel, as long as it gets done. So
Yes.
please know that emotions are very important to making things done, because we are dealing with people. Especially right now, we are in the generation of people business. The best business now is more on people, like how self motivation, self love. We are in the self love era right now. And then we tend to people are important. Every people, whether they're phlegmatic, sanguine, or melon, for choleric, something, if you're not like me, you're not as good as me, for like that. But please know,
Yes.
we have all our strengths to maximize, to use.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lastly is the phlegmatics weaknesses. So not exciting, because they are reconciled and happy in life. So they are not excited. So please be excited. Please know that there's things you just want some, because phlegmatics, they thrive on in not doing anything. Like, they're happy if it won't push through, because they don't want to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
please be motivated to do something. Um, they resist change. They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
change. Right now, if I'm okay, I'm in my comfort zone, then I'm here. But great things happen outside our comfort zone. So if you are like relaxing right now, I believe you're in your comfort zone. So please have goals, like just little goals or big goals that would motivate you. And then, yeah, seems lazy, have a quiet will of iron. We discussed this earlier, ours, that you know um phlegmatics, because they don't want to hurt people and they don't want to do action. Sometimes if you tell them, like, hey, we're going to a party next week, and then they said, they just answer, okay. So for us, choleric, we assume that he is saying yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he is saying yes, but in his mind in a phlegmatic, it was a no. But I cannot tell you no because I know you would react. So I just say,
Yeah.
so I just don't comment. And then when the day comes, you would not go because you don't want to go. You don't want to go. And when phlegmatic decides, they have a quiet will of iron. You cannot change that. If they decide no, it would be a no, and it it would choleric cannot change that. That's really like they become choleric on that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that's what you said. It frustrates the cholerics because of their quiet will of iron. So on a positive side, yeah, if they are also motivated, if they decide to do that, then they will be unstoppable as well.
Yes.
So yeah, um as what you said, if you have these tendencies, please learn to communicate your feelings. So
Mm-hmm.
say or just no comment, because yeah, communication really is key. So communicate, say that I don't want to go, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can find some solution around that. and and they have the inability to make decision. So yeah, please learn to say no. Phlegmatics cannot say no. They just, that's why sometimes they get to be dragged around because they cannot say no, and many things that gets undone because they get to the sidelines because they have, people dragging them. So please be decisive like choleric, and learn to say no if you really don't want to do it. So
Yes.
yeah, so I think that's all for the weaknesses. I and yes. So now is we'll talk about this, about natural blends, because the book also said that we all have these four personalities, right? But we have the blends. Like, what are the blends? So from what is projecting right now, they said that there are natural blends. So the natural blends are popular sanguine and powerful choleric. They are natural blends, so they are both outgoing, optimistic, and outspoken. So if you have this combination, yeah, like you yourself, or you and a friend or your partner, you are sanguine and a choleric in nature, you are best in leadership, because from the sanguine's part, you are artistic and you are charming to people. You draw people to you. And for a
Mm.
choleric, you are goal oriented, you're a doer, you're a born leader, so you can thrive into leadership. So
Yes.
that's the a natural blend for popular sanguine and powerful choleric. You can lead. Another natural blend is the phlegmatic and the melancholy. Yeah. They are introverted, they are pessimistic, they are soft-spoken. So this combination of a phlegmatic partner and a melancholic partner, or even yourself, if you are a phleg and a melon, when you take the test later, you are a good educator because you
Mm.
tend to analyze, and you're a good educator because from the perfect melancholy's analysis, detail oriented, research focused, and from the phlegmatic strengths of being observer and passive, and you have this tendency to be very
Listen.
friendly, yeah, listen and friendly to people. So you get to be a best educator in life. Yeah. So that's the natural blends. We also have the complementary blends. So complementary blends is when you are a popular sanguine and a peaceful phlegmatic. So if you have those
Mm.
tendencies, you can be a sanguine and a phlegmatic. You are best in relationships, like dealing with
Oh.
relationship oriented. So you become the best friends of the world. So one of the best example I can give is my mom. She is a sanguine flag. She did not take the test, but I know she is, and she has a lot of friends, and people loves to be with her. Like, she charms people. So I think sanguine phlegmatics are the best friends of the world. Yeah. So because they really thrive in the relationship, like sanguine charms people, phlegmatic is easygoing. People love them because they are passive, they are not aggressive, so they are best in the relationship stage. Another complementary blend is the choleric and the melancholy. So like you are, so if you are choleric and you are melancholy, you are best in business and work. You are task oriented,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have this combination, wow, you would be very unstoppable, because the cholerics leadership and the melancholics detailed oriented, focused, genius intellect, and very organized, so you would be good in business. So that's powerful choleric and perfect melancholy. There are also opposites.
Ooh.
So what are the opposites? We have this talk that opposites attract, and I think I believe in that. Sanguines are attracted or opposite with perfect melancholy. So, though both are very emotional, sanguine has the tendency to be very erratically emotional. Like today they're happy, tonight they're sad, or sad today. But melancholy, they are also emotional, but they tend to have a long range. Like for example, they become happy, 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 happy for a 1 week, and then because of the tendencies, they become very sad, 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 sad for 1 week. So they have long,
Oh.
but sanguines have erratic. So they are opposite, but they're also the same in that sense. And why they are attracted to each other? Because sanguine has a cheerful attitude, the wide-eyed and innocent, and the melon are the serious. So melancholics sometimes are attracted to the cheerfulness of the sanguine, and the sanguine have the attraction of the seriousness of the melancholic. So that's why
Mm.
most of the people I know that, also me, are new, we are attracted to our opposite, because I think we would want to, complement,
Yes.
um, uh, to balance our tendencies. And the another opposites are the choleric and the phlegmatic. So the choleric are the action oriented, and the phlegmatic are the followers. So the tendency is that cholerics love phlegmatics because they don't have conflict,
Mm-hmm.
and also phlegmatics love cholerics, but because they cannot decide, so they want
Mm.
someone to decide for them, like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they are also attractive to each other. So
Yeah.
once we know our no strengths and our weaknesses, we can really thrive, no thrive to the best of the person that we want to become, because we know our tendencies and how to, correct them. So that's about this graph, chart. Yeah, this is a chart. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're almost done. So next is that, how do we understand and get along with others? So I think the first thing we do, as what we also did, is that know your personality type. So I
Mm-hmm.
think we can share to them, no, Arlene, the link. You have a link, or the book. Yeah, the book
Yes.
itself has the questionnaire, but I also have a link that's the same with the book. So I'll just send you.
Okay, Ken, and then we can put it in the description of this video or in the comments so anybody watching can access that link and take the personality tests.
Yeah, and once we know that, next step is that, probably if you can have access to the book, it's good. There are also audio books for this, I think, in YouTube. And then, or get the book itself. It's really life changing if
Or
you have.
also, Ken, if you have a partner, then request some time to, to yeah, request some time from your partner and ask them what are your tendencies that they have observed, because sometimes we are oblivious of our tendencies. Sometimes
Yeah.
we don't know that we are like that until other people or will let us know that actually you are that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because there are
also,
some people are not self-aware.
yeah, true. It's better to also ask your partner, or if you
Yeah,
don't
if
have
you
yet
don't
a
have
partner, family or
family and
friends.
friends, yes,
Yeah.
the people that
And
you can trust.
yeah,
Yes.
and I would say that when finding a partner before ours, I asked him to answer the the test first.
Personality test.
Yeah, that's good when you already know about this, and they tend to understand you as well. So it's good to know that. And
Yes.
how, yeah. So I think anything you can add, I'm already done, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes. It's I really learned a lot as well, Ken. Although I have I mean I'm familiar already with the book, but because maybe because yeah, like we have to understand, Ken, that there are some things in our life that we understand differently when we are in a different stage of life.
True. I
Yes.
yeah, I forgot about that. Can I add something?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the mask of survival. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I told you earlier. When you were a child, you thought you were becoming choleric because of your father. So, yeah, please know that our personality type are innate in us, but when we are brought into an environment or in a situation where you need to like to be something else, then you tend to be on mask of survival. So for example, like you are a sanguine as a child, but when your father is a choleric and he wanted to, you know, impose something on you, you tend to become a choleric as well, because you wanted to keep up to that expectation, to that, so you become choleric.
Yes.
So that's why when you go out, instead of you are a sanguine as a child in nature, but then because of that tendencies, you copy the choleric. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you said when you're at work, you become sanguine already because you already at your at peace with your environment. So when you are low or when emergencies comes out, you will have your true personality. So that's also so, as also I think the same when you have different stages in life, when you become a mother. And for me also, when I become an accountant, instead of a sanguine, I tend to be melon, because you know accountants cannot we cannot have a the, a mistake, because we're handling with money and figures and numbers. And um I would share one great lesson I learned when I was in my job, my first job. I was in invoicing, and then I made a great mistake. Ours, like I think millions of dollars something. It's good that as accountants we can write off or you can do adjustments. So
Uh-huh.
I did a big adjustment, but that issue went to the boss. So
Oh.
from then on, I became very cautious. Like I double check, triple check everything before I submit the invoice, and that's a great lesson learned. So you tend to become a different personality at a different situation or stage in life.
Yes. Oh wow. So yeah, thank you so much, Ken. I learned a lot from you, and I hope our viewers also found this content valuable. And if they do, I am encouraging them to share this to their friends, or also please give this video a thumbs up because that would alert the algorithm that you like to see more of this kind of video, and would also make this video reach a lot of people, because I believe there's a lot of people who are seeking this kind of content, to help them as well in whatever stage they are now in their life. So yeah, and congratulations to all of you who are with us today
Yeah,
for investing time for your self development. And
agree.
yes, so my channel or my Facebook page, the mission is to help people reach their optimum potential and become the best version of themselves. So if that's something that resonates with you, then you're welcome to join the community and be interactive as you can. And I really appreciate your support. If you have video requests or topics for future discussions, please let me know, and I will definitely find the best person to discuss it with. And yeah, thank you so much, Ken. And thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you again next time. Have a great day, all of you. And love lots and live life to the fullest. Bye bye.
Bye.